Hey, what's going on, family? It's your boy Indigo, and I'm back with another market cap video. Still on the same project, still on Plume, this time with a little bit of a twist. Because I'm sure if you've been around over this, call it longer than a week, you would have noticed a couple of changes, some of them that look somewhat negative. But before I get really deep into it, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and hit that notification bell so that the next time these videos pop up, you are the first to see them. So, let's get straight into it, right? We're gonna go through this the same way that we did the previous week when we looked at the market cap for Plume. All right, so the market cap right now is down negative 9.7% in the last 7 days. All right, and again, just looking at the Plume market cap history, and the last time we were looking at Plume, we were at 74,942,125 dollars. And today, on the 8th of June, we are at 64,761,895 dollars. The volume right now before the markets close is at 8,126,019 dollars, whereas yesterday it was at 5.87 5,871,031. That's an increase of $3 million from yesterday, right? But a declining market cap. So these figures are somewhat interesting to me, especially as someone who looks at price, time, and volume. It probably would be concerning, I imagine, to a lot of people, seeing as the market cap is down almost 10 million, right? We could call that 10 million, $10.2 million. But there are a couple of things that I would like to talk about that are gonna include and be inclusive of small technical analysis, which I typically wouldn't include in a market cap video, but I do think they are and could be important, just for the understanding of what has been happening. Okay, again, I should say, that all of this is just really coming from my own speculation and from my own technical analysis and from my understanding of the financial markets. So do take this with a pinch of salt. All right. What I did want to talk about, and something that I felt would be important to mention, right, was the fact that we had the release of NFP data. Okay. And NFP, for those who don't know, is non-farm payrolls. All right. So here's the thing about these numbers when they come in. NFP is released on the first Friday of every month. Okay. Um, so when these numbers come in, if the employment remains healthy, if the economic activity remains healthy, then the Fed has less pressure to cut rates, and the market would then ask, why would the Fed ease financial conditions if the labor market is still strong? And what that can cause is it can cause yields to rise, which we're going to look at in a bit. And it can also cause the dollar to strengthen. And it can also, as a result, cause crypto to weaken. So, kind of like that chain of events. And also just kind of followed by macro traders' movements, that in itself could lead towards weakening crypto markets. All right. So, this is kind of what we saw in the market cap of Plume. Okay, being down almost negative 10%. All right. I did mention yields, and I want to show you guys this. This is the, excuse me one second. This is the US government bonds. This is the 5-year yield. All right. And if you look right at this candle, my time is in UTC, right? So this is GMT. All right. So 12 GMT would be 2 p.m. This would be round about the release of NFP data. In fact, if I change this to a 30-minute chart, one second, then you will see, yeah, at 12:30 UTC, 12:30 being 2:30 my time, being 8:30 EST, this was the release of those NFP numbers. And those NFP numbers going up, those NFP numbers being released, meant that the US government bonds, the 5-year yield at least, went up from 4.194% to around about 4.277%. Okay, and again, why are we talking about yields and why are we talking about non-farm payrolls when essentially what we want to be talking about is Plume and we want to be talking about crypto? I'll land 1 second. I promise you, once you kind of understand this, it's gonna click in a way that's gonna be so helpful moving on to the future, moving on into the future. Again, this is all like super speculative, and it is coming from my understanding of the financial markets. Okay, so again, that pinch of salt, just make sure you got a little flavoring in it. Okay, so here's the thing about the 5 year yields, right? When the 5 year treasury yields, when those rise, government bonds become more attractive, and that essentially means that there's risk-free returns on that increase, right, of those bonds. So investors often rotate out of risk assets. You're talking about your ES and your NQ, your ES being the S&P 500, your NQ being your Nasdaq 100, your stocks, right? So your crypto growth stocks and speculative assets, those can also experience outflows, right? So my larger or broader thinking of it is that higher 5 year yields means lower risk appetite, and that in turn means that there's going to be selling pressure on crypto or real world asset tokens. All right, so that's kind of my thinking around that. And so when I'm seeing like this drop in the market cap, right, as much as I understand why there could be or would be some panic, or why you could be feeling a certain way, because nobody wants to see their money go down, right? But understanding the data also that has been released, the economic data that has been released, and also how that has in turn also affected the 5 year yield, right? And then you kind of get a broader and a larger understanding of, oh, okay, cool. I guess I see why the market cap went down. All right. So I just wanted to include that and just like talk about that a little. If we do go into the Plume chart, right? Again, just like this is just a small little technical analysis. I believe this chart also is in UTC. So if we go at that was 12 o'clock. 1 second. Right. So from yeah, so from 12 o'clock, essentially from 11 o'clock. So this is about, let's call it 10 o'clock. Okay. This drop, right? This drop in price, right? This correlates as well. This correlates as well to the US yield going up. In fact, if you go and you look at a Bitcoin chart, you will see the same drop. If you go and you look at the S&P 500, you will see the same drop. If you go and you look at the Nasdaq charts, you'll see the same drop. If you go and you look at gold, you'll see the same drop. All of this being affected by, essentially being affected by the US yield, right? That increase in the 5 year yield. Okay, so I just wanted to put that out there. And I'm glad we kind of spoke about that. I mean, also, again, if you disagree, 100%, like, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments and we could talk about it. And maybe I could have the same type of lens that you have on the market. But that's that on that. Just now looking at other asset coins, other tokens similar to Plume. Ondo is down negative 17.89%, Morpho down negative 5.74%, Maple Finance down negative 17.57%, Redstone down negative 10.42%, Asta up 2%, and Hyperliquid up 10.14%. If you'd like for me to have a look at these two, since they are outliers in the data from this week, I'd be happy to do that. Again, something that I do like doing often is coming onto Arkham and just trying to see if there has been any outliers again in just like the money movement. All right. And what I'm really looking at is I'm looking at transactions above 100,000, right? Above 100,000 US dollars, that is. All right. The more of these I see, that also kind of, it lets me know that there is healthy movement of money within a token. And also, again, as long as it's like from different wallet address to different wallet address, and as long as the movement is consistent and there's somewhat of a similar average over time. All right. So that's why I come on here to just try and see the money, just watching the money movements and just making sure that there isn't anything obscenely crazy. Like I see that 7.23 million dollars, which was from a Plume wallet address to a USDC address. This was a week ago. I believe we did speak about this in the previous video. But everything else within the last week has been circa $250,000 as an average. The most amount of money that's been moved is about $327,000. And again, that's been from Plume wallet address to Plume wallet address. So again, nothing too much as an outlier on that. Yeah. And again, always love to look at rwa.xyz, just to have a look at the broader real world asset market, per se, just to have a look at the other institutions that also have some connection to Plume. So this is BlackRock. The total asset value is down negative 2.05% in the last 30 days. Total asset value $2,393,269,199. And the hold is up 7.92%. And the 7-day APY is down 3.45% in the last 7 days. Again, always gonna have a look at Animoca. I love Animoca brands. Total asset value is down negative 19% in from the last 30 days, and the net asset value is also down negative 50%. The holders are up 266.67% in the last 30 days. And yeah, I mean, we did have a look at this. And again, I did say we're just going to be watching this develop over time. If anything changes, if anything seems somewhat significant, then for sure, we're probably going to have another video specifically for it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. I do not want to get too deep into any technical analysis, as I do want to save that for another video where we are going to be looking at Plume's technical analysis aspect, of course. Just looking at it from the last 7 days. I just decided that we're gonna measure this from Wednesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Wednesday. Reason being, we had a significant news event that kind of changed things for Plume, which happened on I believe that was the 20th of May, but yeah, which was a Wednesday. So we're gonna be looking at Plume, at the technical analysis week by week. All right, so make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've liked this video so that my videos get recommended to you more often when they come out. And yeah, and hit that notification button and let me know in the comment section if you agree with my little market cap analysis video, and if you think I am right, or if you think I am wrong, or if you're seeing things from a different lens. But yeah, this has been me. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for your time. Have an absolutely amazing rest of your day.